From Joey Badass, Lonely at the Top. I think what gets lost with rap beef is that good squabbles can lead to both sides winning in the long term. So after Joey Badass took on a swath of West Coast B-listers, I would call it a victory for hip-hop across the board. They got name recognition, Joey got more cred and traction outside of New York City than he's seen in a while. And good thing too, I've seen him live, he deserves that superstar push. So I expected the follow-up to come pretty fast. I was kind of unnerved to hear about major label issues which delayed the album, but thankfully it's here. And on the one hand, it sounds like Joey making his version of Kendrick Lamar's GNX. Lean, a bit scrappy and streamlined to put folks on in his city for the crossover, less a direct victory lap, more reckoning with the harrowing personal cost that will come with that victory. Being ready to engage requires more street-level grit than many can imagine or admit, and the darker and more vulnerable back half of the album shows how it's left a quiver in his breath, but then asking what's next, with the crisp, cool flexing and production deeply rooted in New York City to set the vibe. Less impeccably chill than 2000, but enough moments featuring his improved singing to showcase that broader range. Of course, GNX's best songs went beyond flexing, targeting a societal angle while still experimenting. And for Joey, especially as he's not trying for another all-American badass, well, the easy punchlines and clever wordplay are there. He's got such a high floor, especially if you like impeccably balanced New York hip-hop, but the scope still feels kinda limited. It's not that next step. It's more reminiscent of an expensive throwback that for a certain stripe of New York hip-hop fans, they'll absolutely land, especially with the early mainstream accessible cuts. I dug that terrific bass line on Dark Aura, the hazy crooning of Underwater, and the gristly haunted knock of Speedin Through the Rain, where the car lines drip with some barely controlled angst and panic, all of which translates to tangible survivor's guilt against the pianos and horns of the closing title track. And on the flip side, SUPAFLEE had this bombastic, chalky yet honking 2000s bounce with the Jay-Z flip, and Bree Stevens handling that swaggering hook that, outside of the erection line in the third verse, it shouldn't have worked nearly as well for me as it did, and A$AP Ferg just ran away with High Roller. But on the topic of guest features, sure, BK's Finest was a pretty great posse cut where I loved the production texture from Static Selecta, though the lack of a Rhapsody verse on Still alongside Ab-Soul was disappointing, and we should all be firmly done with the era of phoned-in love jams with Ty Dolla $ign hooks like Ready to Love. It felt incredibly rote. It's the worst track here. In short, yeah, on one hand, Joey Badass did exactly what he had to do. This is solid. But I don't know, with this year in hip-hop and all the hype and expectations he built, it's not close to the top, even for what he's done in the past. It is good. It's worth hearing. But I'm just saying, should have been great.